let's talk about something other than saboteurs. Let's talk about our superpowers. This is Mental Fitness Fridays. I'm Larry McInnes, and you are awesome. So I spent a long time talking about our saboteurs, and let me just state the obvious. I spent a long time talking about our saboteurs. So let me just state the obvious. Even though it took 10 episodes to cover 10 saboteurs, there's only 10 saboteurs. You can count them on your hands. And the other thing is there's only one sage. And to take on any challenge, and I mean any challenge, there are only 5 powers that you need to access. And not even every challenge will require all 5. So these are pretty manageable numbers, not 100 steps to happiness, not 50 ways to leave your lover, only 10 saboteurs, only 1 sage, only 5 sage powers. And the sage and its powers can meet any challenge, no matter how huge, no matter how daunting. And it meets these challenges in a way that result in the best outcome, while at the same time generating positive emotions and minimizing negativity and stress. And with some practice, you'll be shocked at how simple and how powerful these powers are. I guess that's why they call them powers. So these are powers you already have. And here's what I mean. At some point in the past, you've cut yourself a little slack when something's gone wrong, or you've listened to a friend in need. You've been curious enough to know, to see how something works, or wondered what happens when you pull that thing. You've had to come up with creative options to sticky problems. You've had to look at those options in front of you and figure out which ones work the best. And finally, once you figured out that best solution, you went to work and you got what you were looking for. And that's it. Crazy simple. So let's put some tags on these sage powers so you know what to put in your toolbox. And these powers are empathy, curiosity, creativity, direction, and action. And using these powers in a specific order will make any challenge that's put to it more manageable. So first, we have the empathy power tool. And empathy is all about feeling and showing appreciation and compassion and forgiveness for yourself and for others. But for most people, having empathy for oneself is the hardest thing to do. And I bet you know why. That damn judge, he never misses a chance to criticize you. It's so much easier to empathize with others. Besides, other people have their own judges too. And the judge drains us. Empathy recharges us. So when something goes wrong, and it will, take a mental step back from the situation, take a breath, and forgive yourself. Wrong doesn't have to be wrong. Wrong can be a data point. Now, next we pull out the curiosity power tool. And when we were kids, we all knew how to explore in this pure way, exploration for the sake of exploration. And it was fun to be curious and to discover new things. The sage way of curiosity is like the child's way of exploration, turning over rocks and shells on the beach just to see what's underneath. And the grosser, the better. The sage's mode of curiosity is based in openness and wonder and fascination at what's being explored. And a strong sage can activate this exploration mindset in the middle of a crisis. Well, now that we're adults, curiosity is helpful in understanding a problem or a solution more deeply. And it can put you on a better path forward. So instead of jumping to conclusions and coming up with half-assed solutions, Take a mental step back again from the situation, take a breath, and look at the problem without judgment. Start to peel back the onion and see all the different aspects of the situation. This is sort of like a compassionate autopsy. All right, next, we pull out the creativity power tool. And while the power of curiosity is about discovering what is, the power of creativity is about inventing what isn't. So true creativity is about breaking out of boxes, breaking out of assumptions, and breaking out of those habits that hold us back. So the operating question for curiosity is, what's a whole new way to do this? You need the power of curiosity when the old way of approaching a situation isn't enough and a new out-of-the-box approach is needed. So create many solutions to a problem, including the crazy ones. Crazier the better. Now, a technique that I learned in an improv comedy class is this thing called the yes and game. And this is a great way to find interesting and unique solutions to problems, especially if you're working in a team. And it goes something like this. Person one says, let me try this. Person one says, let's make tuna noodle casserole for dinner. Person two says, yeah, and we can put panko breadcrumbs on top for a little bit of extra crunchiness. And person three says, yeah, and I think French fried onion rings add a little extra zing to the casserole. And person four says, let's see, what does he say? And person four says, yes, and chopsticks are a great way to eat casserole. And everybody stares at that last guy. So the point is, creating all kinds of solutions, even the wacky ones, will open up new ways of thinking about the problem. All right, next, pull out the direction power tool. The sage's power of direction is about choosing between the various possible solutions based on your internal compass. The true north of this compass is your deeply held values and what gives you your life a sense of meaning and purpose. And if you keep navigating with this compass, your cumulative choices will generate fulfillment that comes from living life in alignment with your ideals and principles and not someone else's. And pay no attention to that train out there. And finally, pull out that action power tool. And I've heard some people worry about that this attitude of accepting everything as a gift or opportunity makes you lazy. Well, the fact of the matter is, it's exactly the opposite. The sage power of action moves you into pure action, where all your mental and emotional energies are laser focused on the project at hand, and you're not distracted by the saboteurs. When you're in sage mode, there's no procrastination, no distraction, no interference that the saboteurs cause. And in some circles, this is known as flow. There's nothing but you and the project. And this is when you get lost in the project, you forget to eat, and it feels like the afternoon goes by in a few minutes. And those are the sage powers that find and create the gifts and opportunities. Empathy, so you can cut yourself and others some slack. Curiosity, so you can be the explorer and find out what's hiding under rocks. Creativity, so you can throw shit up against the wall and see what sticks. Direction, so you can choose the creative ideas that line up with your true north. And action, so you can fall into flow state and action, so you can fall into flow state and laser focus your energies. And I will see you next week on Mental Fitness Fridays.